And good evening, and welcome to City Focus. I'm Marty Olsen, your host, and tonight we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to have some fun, and we're going to expand our minds and our adventuresome spirit. I'm delighted to have in the studio with me a lovely young lady who I just met, I might add. We have interacted via Facebook, and she likes to travel. And recently she had a sojourn to Iceland, where my folks had visited many, many years ago. And I just said, you know what, I'm just going to reach out and say hello. And I think, and I've seen where you have been from time to time. I think you're an interesting person, and you'd make a terrific guest to share your experiences. So I've got Nicole Thornton here in the studio with me. She's a local girl and a world traveler. And thank you so much for taking an hour and spending it with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah. So I, before we went on the air, we were chatting a little bit, and you had indicated you've grown up in New London. Your dad's a New London guy. And, so I'm just trying to get a handle on what may have spurred your interest in getting out and about and seeing things, and the type of things that you do when you travel. I mean, it's a rather vast area.
Yeah, it is. Well, first of all, I have been traveling. My parents had us traveling as a family from very young age, where my sister and I, we've taken flights to, when they would hand us off to the stewardess, and to go see my grandmother, who was living in Michigan at the time. So it's just the family trips that really started it off. However, my personal interest came later, where I would do my own traveling, and especially after I had my daughter. And we would do cruises, and did a lot of cruises. And I wanted her to have the experience of seeing that there's more out there. And it was easy for me because I lived in New London. and because it's such a small town.
Well, there's a lot of young folks in New London. I think a number of people who never get out of New London.
Right.
So, for you to be able to share those experiences with your daughter, I think it's fabulous.
Thank you. Yeah, she's 30 now, so she's doing her traveling. Yeah. So it's just, when you're living in a small town and there's really minimum to do, then you get out. And again, like you said, there's a lot of people who haven't gone beyond the states. And then countries, I've covered quite a few countries via cruises. And then later on, I got to where I was experiencing touring. And I hooked up with a travel tour company, and it's just been on since, nonstop. And I try to stop, but it's hard.
Now do you? You've got a lot of flags here, and the ones out front are places that you've been.
Yes.
And then we've got this area here where you're hoping to get to here. Have you always had that interest in international travel, or do you also travel domestically and see the United States?
I do the States as well. Anytime I can get a flight, I'm happy. Over the last 5 years, maybe, the international became really much of an interest to me. I mean, I have been doing it through cruises. And where it started to become a turn for me was when I no longer wanted to do the same stops anymore. It used to be, oh, I'll take a cruise. And I've been there already, but it's fine. I liked it. So we tend to do the same thing or go to the same places because we're familiar with it, comfortable with it. We liked it. But it's only later I started, I don't know if I seen some young people traveling into places and countries that most of us would think, why would anyone want to go over there? That piqued an interest. And now I want to go. So I started doing country hopping. I want to see how many countries. Later on that came where I want to see how many countries I can get while I'm alive. Never really put a number on it, but while I'm alive and while I'm able to, I feel that you have today, tomorrow's not promised.
Well, you're young, you're vibrant, you're exciting and adventurous. So I think you're obviously well on your way.
I am. I'll be hitting 50 countries by the end of this year. They're already booked. So by the end of the year, I would have completed 50.
Now, have you been on all the continents?
I haven't. And there's some other areas I need to hit more up. I really haven't hit much of South America.
Have you been to South America?
I have Costa Rica. There's some other places I wanted to hit up, like Brazil, Chile, Argentina.
Oh boy! So you've been there, or you want to go?
I want to go. There's some I just want to hit up, just cover as much as I can in the South American. I mean, Europe, I'm getting ready to hit 4 at one time in a couple of months. So if I can take a trip that's going to get me multiple countries in at one spot, one travel, that's golden to me.
Now, let's just, for conversation's sake, you're going to Europe, and Europe is relatively compact. The countries are small in area, at least compared to here.
Right.
So if you're traveling there, do you get on and go Eurorail and zip around? Do you buy a touring company and they take you where you're going?
That's exactly what I do. Went to Amsterdam and Paris and where did we go to? Brussels, my sister and I. And it's a tour, so a lot of them, we're not at one spot and hanging out in that one spot. You know, most people, if they go to New York, they're spending their time within Times Square and maybe, you know, go to the park. These tour companies that I have been traveling with, we're getting a lot done in a short period of time, where we fly in, we stay at one hotel for maybe a night or two. Now we get into a bus and we're traveling down and stay at another hotel for a night or two. It's really getting around.
So you're touring.
I am touring.
So you're not traveling there and then just getting on the beach and spending a week on the beach.
Unless that's the plan. Unless that's the plan now, because I don't have a problem with that either. It has to be that set mindset. Like I went to, after 2020 hit, of course no one did anything for 2020. 2021 is when I went back out again. I went to Mexico, and I'm like, I gotta go somewhere for my birthday. It's in August. And so I says, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try my first solo trip. I've been wanting to do a solo trip for a while. But then I'm thinking, and you know, I heard that people say, oh, it's liberating, and I didn't really understand, well, why would you want to go by yourself when you can find someone to go with? So I ended up going alone. I was comfortable with doing that because I was on a resort. And if I wanted to get off, I can go and sign up for a excursion off. You know, it was still not alone. And I did that for the year of 2021 and the year of 2022. I loved being alone more than I ever thought I would. In my personality, people were like, "Oh, Nicole, you can be fine by being by yourself because you talk to people, you know, strangers. They don't be strangers for long." And I enjoyed it, but I also enjoyed moving when I was ready to move, not having to conversate with anyone about when are you ready to get something to eat. I just enjoyed it. My biggest choices on those 2 trips was the same resort was, is this going to be a beach day or a pool day? Or I'll start off at the beach and end up near the pool because it was located on the beach. I really enjoyed that. And I did that twice. And I have no, you know, it was good. But I prefer to have my own friend, not meeting someone there. I would prefer to have my own travel friend, you know, whoever that is.
With you.
I'm very, very blessed to have quite a few options. There's people, I have friends who like to travel and are able to travel, and we travel well together, so may not be
traveling is not inexpensive. I mean, you know, cruises and flights
Right.
and
Yeah, oh, yeah.
hotels. I mean,
Absolutely.
things, meals.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It can be very costly unless you get in at the right time. You can find deals. I went to Morocco for $1,200. It might have been a 9-day tour, and it was covering 3 parts: Fez, Marrakesh, and Casablanca. We're hitting up some major spots, beautiful hotels. Meals are included, most meals, breakfast every morning for sure. The entertainment, it was a lot of sightseeing. $1,200. It just depends on when you find and when you buy. As you know, you can look, I don't know, you travel at all?
A little bit.
Okay.
It hasn't been in a while, but I mean, I'm not totally out of it.
Okay. Looking for flights, you can find a flight right now and come back in an hour. It may not be the same. So it's one of those, be ready to book. If you find a deal, book it. Yeah.
Now, when you are on these international excursions, do you make an effort to get in with the local people, the local shops, dine locally? I mean, or do you go back, as you say, go back to the ship and eat the food that's on the ship, or do you eat the native food in Morocco or wherever you may be, your port of call?
I am going to try the local meals, unless it's just something that is not for me. But I'm going to give it a try. To go back, like, okay, a lot of, like, even the ship, when it was going on a cruise, then, you know, you can eat all you want on a cruise. But part of the experience is eating what's out there, what the locals eat, and shop where the locals shop. And visit their establishments. We get off the beaten path. I've done that with my father. I've taken, I think it was his last cruise. It was quite a few of us. Got him on the, we went to, not the Bahamas. I can't remember. But we got into where the locals go into. And it was just a nice experience to just be there and eat and order what they do. I am that one that will try some things. Again, it depends on how far out it is. I went to St. Vincent and we had, I see it. Oh, daggone it. I see it, it's running. It's an animal and it was running towards the water. And it was like, wow, we're really going to eat this thing. It was some kind of something that we don't have all the time. But we tried it, and they say, well, what is it? And it'll come to me later what kind of animal that was. But we had a couple of drinks on that one. That was quite a few years ago. Had a couple of drinks, and I said, oh, they said it tastes like iguana.
Oh, okay.
Iguana.
There you go.
Tastes like chicken. I don't know. We were a couple, and so I don't think I want to try that again, though.
Now, after being in Iceland, have you been in other parts of Scandinavia? Have you been to Norway or Sweden, Denmark, Finland?
Been to Sweden. Haven't been too much else in that area. Like, it was surprising. Iceland, yes. It was cold. It was beautiful, though. Very clean country. If I say where we went, I would probably say it wrong. Reykjavik? Does that sound?
Reykjavik is
Reykjavik.
Iceland.
Yeah, that's where. Okay, and that was clean and beautiful. The people weren't as nice as I, have experienced before, but I figured that they were cold. They have the right to be a little grouchy because it was cold. Not as cold as Greenland. So I'm glad I did not experience that. I haven't been to Greenland. And I didn't even have Iceland on my radar. I didn't plan on doing Iceland. It just came up across the screen. And I'm like, what's the dates? If the dates line up and the money adds up, I was.
It was interesting to me, as an aside, is while you were there was a husband and wife team from New London that was also there.
Oh, wow.
A gentleman who was actually served on the New London School Board, and his wife. They're now out in Nevada.
Nice.
But they were there at the same time you were. He was who I contacted. You were inquiring about, was it the Blue Lagoon?
Yes. Yes, I remember that. I remember. Yeah, and the Blue Lagoon, and it's funny because before we got there, they had an eruption, and some people were usually concerned. Be careful when you go out there, It takes a lot for me to cancel a trip. I let them cancel. And it's perfect timing. We got out there was no issues. Then we come back, and there was an issue. So it's like, I don't know, I'm blessed going in, blessed coming out. Yeah, we missed that one. Same thing with Israel. Went to Israel earlier last year in March.
Not sure you'd want to be there now.
I know, but that's the thing. I enjoyed myself there. It was a remarkable trip. Israel and Jordan. Absolutely amazing. I came back. I put groups together. Got a group, probably about 30 people who were going to go. And it was almost to the last payment when this war broke out. And it was like people were calling, what are you going to do? I said, I don't move. I let the company make the choice, because they have eyes and ears on the ground. They know what's going on, and they'll make the call. So eventually they did make that call, and we all got refunded. But it was just a sad occasion because I really was I was looking forward to experiencing it with everyone, to let them see what it is I saw and experience what it is I experience, and I can watch them. I really get a big enjoyment out of everyone else's enjoyment and travel and seeing things, even the tour companies that I work with. And they're like, wow, it's really a great value for your money. But yeah, Israel and Jordan would have been amazing. Amazing. It was a lot of church people going on that one too. So to go through places that you've only read about in the Bible or heard about, it was really just,
Now, have you been to any other places in the Mideast? I mean, Egypt or...
Yeah, I have. I've done okay. And there's a few more areas in Africa that I like to hit up.
Sure.
I did South Africa.
Okay.
Then I did Egypt, and then Morocco. So those three, I hit up in Africa. There was a few more areas I want to hit up. Dubai was a nice trip, and I got a bonus country on that, which ended up being Oman.
Oh, okay.
So we had taken I was like, oh, are you telling me we're in another country right now? We had to go through with our passports to do an excursion that happened to take place in Oman. So that was really exciting. I said, oh, that counts. I've been in another country. I don't really like to count airport layovers. I don't feel like, yeah, I'm in the country, but it's just the airport. I feel like I need to get out and do something.
Yeah, I would concur.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So even being in Israel, went to Palestine, and it was one of those. Are you telling me right now this is we're in another country? And when he said, yeah, the tour guide. So we're all protected. It was really. I said, okay, got a bonus country on there. We stopped and had lunch, and watched the show. It was really good. Yeah, I'm ecstatic about the tours. Cruises were wonderful. Yes, they were. But the tours, just you really see a lot and experience it in a different way.
Yeah. Have you ever done a rail tour?
No. And I thought of going to Germany. And although we did, where were we at? We took a fast trip, Thailand. Mm-hmm. That was amazing. We got on this train. I want to say this old-looking train is certainly not Amtrak, and it was like, wow. It was just really an experience. We all enjoyed that so much, and it's going really fast. But I'm looking forward to the bullet train in Japan. So, but Germany, and when you go to Europe, you can take the train and hop around. Haven't done that. There's some tours that offer your own, or comes with a car. I don't think I want to do that either. I don't want to have to figure out where to drive to. I really like the tour, go through the touring, because it comes with an English-speaking tour guide and a bus driver, and they pick you up from the airport, take you to the hotels, and everywhere else you're going, you're always just being catered to. I don't think I want a car. I don't want to have to figure out the language on the signs. I don't want to figure out how to drive. I drove in Turks and Caicos, and they drive on the left side, and the car is actually flipped over to the steering wheel. You go through these roundabouts. Remember, stay to the left. That's what the lady who was renting us the car said. Just remind each other, stay to the left, stay to the left. And we were reminding each other, stay to the left, stay to the left. It was really quite challenging. Not as much as parallel parking, though. On the other side of the street, from the other end of the car, that was something. Get out and tell me how far I got.
There you go. Folks, you're watching City Focus, and tonight we're having a little bit of a different kind of conversation. World travel primarily here, and I've got Nicole Thornton in the studio, and she's chatting about her experiences, and she's been many, many places, and if you'd like to contribute to the program, we'd love to have you give us a buzz. We are live. The local phone number is 860-440-3154. Maybe discuss some of your trips hither and yon, or perhaps if you have any questions for Nicole, they would be welcomed as well. And Drew in the control room, Nicole had submitted a few photos for us. Perhaps you could put a couple up on the screen, and she could discuss where she's been.
Oh, okay.
So where are you?
That picture, I am in Iceland.
So that's a recent trip.
Oh, absolutely. That was one of my latest ones. Yeah, that's the one I just came back from.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was, I made it.
Was that particular photo a particular spot that you were looking forward to being there, or was it just
a random picture? Like we were exploring, walking out from the hotel, just looking to see what was around us. And I said, well, there looks like there's water over there. Let's walk over there. Walked over there, and it was just amazing to see the mountains in the background, the snow on top. It was really good, and I just happened to take a picture, and she caught it really well. So
now, being in Iceland in the wintertime, you must have had a very short period of light.
Okay, it's funny you say that, because it was probably around 11 a.m. before it started to get light. It was just the weirdest thing to be outside at 9 a.m. and it's still dark. And it was like, but then someone else asked me, well, did they have a longer day? during that time, it wasn't so much longer. So we had about from 11 to 5 for it to be light. And then it started to turn dark, shortly after 5. But that is that 7 a.m. Even we can, around here in our winter, 7 if it's still dark. But 9 o'clock is unheard of. 10 o'clock, 10:30. It's like people are really starting their day off, going to work in the dark. Yeah. It was weird.
Should you go back there in late June,
now,
then you'll have light.
More light. And they say that was awkward.
It'll be very short nighttime.
Yeah, I think I would like that. It might be really awkward, but I like to give that a try. I just shut the curtains. And
whether you do it in Iceland or do it in Norway, Sweden, Finland.
Right. Yeah, I would try it. Didn't see the Northern Lights though. That's what we went to do, but we didn't see the Northern Lights.
Well, you can't have
it all.
But you give it your best shot.
But we experienced the lagoon. We didn't do, there's the Blue Lagoon that everybody is familiar with, well, a lot of people. Then there's the Sky Lagoon that is similar to it. It was just closer to where we were. And that was an experience. It was truly an experience. Some people think I was crazy. Like, wow, you went out there. They didn't know the water was warm. Water was very warm. It was just the air out there.
Well, you've got the geysers and stuff there.
Yes. Yeah. It was really, really, it was a nice experience. But when I say that wind was blowing, all you want to do, I'm in the water and I want to record so that I can show people what I'm looking at. But I don't want to drop my phone in the water. And the wind was blowing so hard, and you can hear it, and my hand is getting cold because all I want to do is stick it in the water. So I'm switching, but trying not to drop the phone. I did a quick zoop, and threw the phone right back into the lockers, and then just enjoyed it. But it felt like and a couple of girls were laughing. I said, they were like, how was the lagoon? Because it was kind of stormy out there. I said it was nice, but it just felt like there was this big wind man that you couldn't see because it's wind, but it's a big man, angry, and he was throwing ice balls, which was the sleet that you would feel hitting your face, and you turn so you're not, and you can feel it hitting your back. So all you wanted to do was sink down into the water and just be covered from here to there. But it was truly an experience. Not everyone can say they did that, and I will always remember that.
I suspect that you will. You mentioned Thailand. Have you spent time in other parts of Asia or Southeast Asia? Have you been to India?
I have been to India, and that was amazing. Thailand was a wonderful trip. We've done some things getting on the elephant. I kept saying, it was not easy getting on a wet elephant, and there's a guy to help you get on, and I was like, I did not come all the way out here to not get on this elephant, so don't let me go. He's pulling me from his angle, and we finally made it up there, so that was really good. India was really nice. I tell you what was really one of the most mind-boggling trips for me was Egypt. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand the attention that I got. See that picture right there? That's Dubai. That was fun. Yeah, that was.
Now, did you wear that?
Yeah, we put that on. I don't mind dressing up in the culture outfits. That's part of we all. Plus, you have to have the head covering on to get in certain temples and mosques and so on.
So you were respectful of their customs and culture.
Oh, absolutely. And people talk about Dubai, you could get arrested for this, that, and another. A lot of times people give you what they heard, and it's not accurate. So I always encourage people to find out for themselves. Go and do your homework. And, before you get there, don't go in and get arrested and find out that you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, well, don't be the ugly American and go out of your way to be a wise guy.
Absolutely. So, and like they were saying the dress code is really strict. It is strict in certain places, but not the public like people say it was, but it was a really good experience to do that. And I love dressing into their outfits. India, going and taking a picture in front of Taj Mahal, I should have found that picture, but I was trying to be quick. That was amazing. I had a real Indian outfit on that was given to me by Indian people here, and I was like, oh, and I wore that for a costume, Halloween costume, and won first prize. Then I find myself going to India. I wasn't planning on going to India when they gave me that, but she said, it's really expensive, so, take care of it, and I took care of it. Then now I'm packing for India, and I'm like, hold on, let me get my Indian outfit. I wore that. It was India and Egypt. The attention that I got had me questioning myself. Who am I? Because people were coming to take pictures. Even one of the lady, that's in Egypt. There's these group of kids, females, these young girls come running over, and they were like showing their picture, and I thought they wanted me to take the picture of them, and I said, yeah, so take a picture of us. And I said, yeah. Soon as I said yeah, and I was reaching for the phone, next thing you know, phones went up, selfie sticks came out of nowhere, and they were taking pictures. I said, oh, you want to take a picture with me? They were asking to take a picture with me. And I get a lot of them haven't seen certain race of people either. So it was something. Everywhere I went in Egypt, that was Egypt, it was weird because this family here, we were walking towards the place and they were coming from it. And so we're walking towards each other. But from a distance, I can see people started taking their phones out and trying to record secretly. I was with my girlfriend who's holding the young boy. So this husband and wife, they have these 3 children and they're getting their phones ready. They come to me and they say, could you take a picture with my family? And I said, sure. He hands me the baby, and the baby looks at me and I was like, oh, so I give it back. But they wanted a picture, so in order to take that picture, my girlfriend who was with me picked up the young one, and we all took a picture together. It was funny because people were trying to, even in India, sneaking. They see me walking, and I said to my girlfriend, I said, look, I know he's taking a video or a picture. It was something. All those kids, it was like the Pied Piper. I said, I don't know what it is, but it was an experience.
Well, it's because you're in an area where they aren't seeing, they see their own.
Yep, exactly.
And you're different.
Yeah. Even the Taj Mahal, which has a lot of visitors and a lot of Indian people from different parts of India, it's just when they see someone different, it was just, and I was asking my tour guide, she says, oh, I think they think you're maybe from Bollywood, which was their Hollywood. So it was absolutely, it was an experience. It really was. When my daughter came with me to Thailand, that too was a lot of Asians were just in awe, especially the way I had my hair. It was just, and my daughter who's tall and dark like me, she was like, Mom, why are they all, I says, oh, just go with it. They want to take pictures, and we just, so she's, one of the other girls who was with us caught a picture of the 2 of us taking pictures with everyone who was coming. Take a picture with me, and they're using their phones. After, it didn't take me long before I said, wait a minute, hold on. Y'all want to take pictures? I got to take pictures too, because nobody's going to believe the treatment that I was getting here. So I need proof too. So I started, they take their picture. Hold on, let me get my picture. Hold my phone up and get a picture too. It was really something.
Well, I think that's marvelous. Now, in that part of the world, did you get to any other places? Did you get to Hong Kong or mainland China, Taiwan?
China, and the one thing about touring, I wish that if I went by myself, I could probably, because I'm so close, like Laos was there. I would love to go to Cambodia and Vietnam. Yep. So when I do Cambodia, it'd have to be with Vietnam. I was so close to Laos, but we were with a touring company. So when I do book trips, I try to book that have multiple countries together. So, yeah, China and Hong Kong. I mean, all of that is on my list. I want to take a picture on the Great Wall. So, but yeah,
I mean, the Asian area is a significantly bigger. I mean, it's almost kind of hard to wrap your head around. It's the distances between places in the Pacific is just so huge. I mean, I've been to Indonesia 3 times. My ex-wife was from there.
Okay.
And we flew on one trip there and stopped in Hong Kong. We were in Hong Kong for 1 full day and 2 nights. But the flight from Hong Kong to Jakarta was 8 hours.
Okay.
I mean, you're looking at a map, and it just doesn't compute.
That. Right. Right, I get it. I have a globe, believe it or not. It sits on my coffee table. It's a beautiful globe. And I'll go with, there's a girlfriend who's just starting to travel out of the country as well. And I would show her, look where we're going, to see the distance between where we are and where we are going or where we went. We went all the way over here. You're turning this globe. It's mind-boggling to see. Wow. And I love looking at the globe and turning it around and see where I've been and where else I want to go. But you're right, those distances, you would think, because I'm in for a 10-and-a-half-hour flight from San Francisco to Fiji. 10-and-a-half hours there and 10 hours back. Yeah. I don't have a problem with long flights. I get on, my goal is to sleep. And I have no problem sleeping.
Good for you. A lot of folks can't, but if you're able to, good for you.
I've gone with a traveler who says she just can't sleep. They watch movies. I don't even turn the movie on. I have my neck pillow. I need a window seat. I'm good. And if I wake up, how much more time we got? I want to sleep. So it just cuts down the time.
Yep.
And usually I'm running, leading up to the trip, running that, I look forward. I get some of my best sleep up there.
Yeah. Now, have you been to Australia and or New Zealand?
That's on my list. When I do one, it will be both. That's Ireland. That picture was Ireland. When I do Australia, New Zealand's with it. I'm not going back down there again. You know what I'm saying? That flight is going to be tough. Yeah. You been to Ireland?
I have not, no.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. That was good. That was a good, that was without a tour. That was just two other girlfriends. Hey, let's go. We found some cheap flights leaving out of, where did we leave out of? Providence. Straight on over, and it was nice.
You must be wearing out your passport.
Yeah. I have a couple of them, and now I'm to the point where, could you put your stamp on this page so I can leave don't stamp all over the book. I need some clear pages because some of these trips require you to have at least 6 clear pages, and I don't need stamps randomly, so I go and I'm asking, could you stamp here, please? And they're pretty good at with customs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, oh boy.
That's South Africa, and there's the penguins behind me.
Penguins, wow.
Yeah. South Africa, a different type of, that water was, they said the water's cold, even though they said the water never really warms up. South Africa, I mean, you can't get no souther than that. Yeah, that was nice, though. Really good experience.
I'll tell you, Drew, you're doing a heck of a job with these photos here you're getting, and she's banging on them here. She knows exactly where she is and where she's been, and I hope we get a chance to go through your whole catalog there.
Yeah, that's Aruba. My daughter took that picture. We did Aruba. My parents would go to Aruba a lot. Then they finally just stopped. Some people, like I said, continue to go to the same spot. I know it. I'm comfortable there. They don't want to do anything different. And I've been trying to talk them, oh, try something different, because it started out with St. Martin for them.
Yeah.
Then they got a taste of Aruba, and that's where they bought timeshare, and that's where they go every year, except after, about 2020. Now they just slowed down as far as going. But my father, he would take another cruise, though.
Well, I know a lot of folks, and I've never been on a cruise, but I know folks that swear by them. They think cruising is the ultimate way to vacation.
Yeah,
you
I
got
agree.
your room, you got your food.
Absolutely.
And
you don't have to make up a bed. I mean, they do it for you. You're going from, it's like a buffet of countries. And so you're on this vessel, and you wake up here, and you wake up the next day over here, and maybe a couple days at sea. You're getting to taste a little bit of a few things. That way, if you really like something that much, you can go back directly and stay there for that time being. Nothing worse than going to a place that, I can't stand it here, and you're ready. You've booked there for a week, and you can't leave, so because you're ready to go. But a cruise is a good way to, and then the cruise ship itself is a really nice thing to experience as well, because these cruise ships, they are something else, and they're getting better and better. They have a lot that they're putting on these ships. Bumping cars, that I know we did that, or the last one I brought my father, roller skating, I-Fly, where you're acting like you're flying, zip line, not zip lining, the parachute kind of thing. Yeah, rock climbing, some things that all are on the ship, all on the ship.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Now, have you done an Alaskan cruise?
No, and I heard that's a beautiful cruise. And I keep saying, I don't think I want to go on a cruise and be cold anywhere. Although you can go in the summertime, and they say it's absolutely beautiful. I may do an Alaskan cruise at some point. I'm just not there yet. I mean, if I could go to like I said, I'm trying to get through this. I'm trying to get through these.
Well, you've got an aggressive schedule. I mean, but you seem to have a plan, and it won't surprise me to see that the next time I have you in here, these will be down here.
Yes. Yep. It's like I said, I'll be hitting 50 by the end of the year. That was South Africa. Yeah, South Africa, that was amazing. I tried Ethiopian food for the first time there. It was an experience in its own. Like, I was waiting for the utensils, and they eat with their hands. So, okay. Yeah, I'm like, oh. But, 50 countries by the end of the year. And like I said, and none of these are on the list except for Japan. And I got some new stuff that I don't even have flags for. Guatemala, we're going to in May.
Have you had an opportunity to visit Cuba?
Cuba, yes. I'm glad I did. And I did that by way of a ship. So me and a girlfriend took a cruise, and Cuba was that destination. And it was a really nice time there. Even though it was just one day, but you get off and you already have these tours booked, the onshore tours. And we already knew what we were going to do. And was it 1 or 2 days? I think that ship stayed overnight. So we were able to get a couple of days in there. Because we did quite a bit over there. Smoked a cigar, not a cigar smoker. She's not either. But it was funny to see two females trying to get the smoke going. And they had this thing called the marriage, which it was their cigar. I want to say it was their rum, maybe. And then there's coffee involved. It was something. It was really an experience, but beautiful. The old-fashioned cars. Then you see some destruction. The homes that hadn't been rebuilt, which was kind of sad. Like,
Yeah, I mean the communists haven't done a real good job of getting up to modern standards.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, some of the homes look like war hit it, and they just never fixed it up.
Yep.
You're going through and you're looking at it. It was like, whoa.
Now, have you been to any place like anywhere in Russia or Eastern Europe?
No. I would have liked to have gone to Moscow, but that's not going to happen. No. So yeah, Russia is not on my list right now. No. And a lot of places I go to, a lot of people are like, I wouldn't want to go over there, or be careful going over there. It's just not many places that well, there's some places like some other countries in Africa that I really don't want to go to. But there's still a few more I want to go to: Uganda, Ghana, Tanzania, Kenya, because I really want to deal with the giraffes and feed them out of my hand. But there's some places people are nervous to go to. Be careful over there. My response is, be careful right here. Be careful right here. You're not guaranteed to go in and out of Walmart alive, safe. So, yeah, to live your life and fear is not for me.
I love your sense of adventure. I mean, this is fabulous.
Thank
I'm
you.
learning a lot here today, and having you here has been marvelous. Have you visited any place like a little closer to home, like Canada?
Yes, Canada. And it's funny because I thought that I said, I want to try this solo trip. And I figured my first out-of-country solo trip, not just in the country. I wanted to get out of the country and have it as a solo trip. So I thought maybe I was going to try to cheat a little bit. I'll go to Canada. That's another country, and I'll go by myself. I'll drive, and I'll hit up. I had a little itinerary. I was going to hit this spot up, drive down this spot, that spot, and come back through. And I figured I'd drive just in case I had enough of being by myself. I'm ready to come back home. I never did make that drive. However, I have done Canada because my parents we did flights, or we did road trips, a lot of road trips back in the day. And of course, to get to Michigan, Detroit specifically, you can get there through Canada.
Yeah.
So and you can stop and we stopped and ate something and just on the way through. But to really experience Canada, I could do that again and experience it in a whole different way rather than just stopping along the way. So I can say I've been to Canada because I have. It wasn't just landing in the airport, but to really experience it in a different way, I can do that and not feel like I'm repeating because I didn't get what I could get.
It's a different country. It's a different culture.
Yeah.
I mean, much of my travel has been tied to Kiwanis International Conventions.
Okay.
So you do the convention, and either before, during and after, try to see the general area
Right.
of where you are.
Right.
And it's offered an opportunity to visit Canada a few times.
And that's why your tie? Did you get a shot of that tie? What's his name? Gary?
That's
Drew.
That's my
Get a
Kiwanis
shot of that
International
tie.
She's got her flags. I've got them on my tie. But to visit Montreal,
Yeah.
and I've been to Toronto and Ottawa.
Yeah,
and,
those
and, Quebec, old Quebec.
Okay, yep.
And they're all interesting. They all have different things to do and see. And
I might put that on the things to do for even this summer. Just take a drive up.
yeah, so you keep your passport with you at all times.
Absolutely.
So you can say, I'm going on this flight now.
Yeah, well, hey, you never know. You never know. And even when it comes to dating, one of the questions, I'm not dating anyone right now, but do you have your passport? Because that's one of the baseline. You don't have a passport, I don't know what we have in common. What else is there?
Yeah. I've never been out to the Western Canada, Vancouver or any of that, but a transcontinental rail journey across Canada is supposed to be spectacular. And that would be one to consider for
Yeah.
a bucket list type thing.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, and I don't mind driving either. I don't mind. I prefer to fly when it means, but have that freedom to go about, and hit up some spots. A road trip is fine too, and I wouldn't mind driving through Canada. It's just when I'm trying to go, let's say to Florida, I have a girlfriend who does not like to fly. She would take a train or a bus. I did a bus once before to Florida, and that was the last time I did a bus anywhere. That was enough. But yeah, I don't mind flying. I prefer to fly because you get there and you have all that time to explore where you're going. But I don't mind driving to Canada though.
So you have not run into some of these exasperating experiences in the airports where you lose your luggage or your clothes, or delays, or you miss your connections, or...
I have missed the connection. I've missed a flight once. I have with Atlanta when, I don't know, a few years back. I want to say before 2020. It was about 2018 where they had a fire. They shut down everything in the airport. We were at the gate waiting, and no one was going anywhere. No one knew why either. The power went down, then it came back up, but we were still sitting there. That was an experience. So that had to be my worst, because I ended up staying in Atlanta because no one was going anywhere. Mm-hmm. The whole airport shut down. I don't want any more of those experiences, though.
Well, who wants those?
Yeah.
I'm just fascinated here. You've been so many interesting places, and you, just based on the photos you've shared, you're always looking so happy. You're like in your happy place.
I am when it comes to travel, but I'm happy most times anyways. I smile most days. I'm smiling. People do say that, wow, you always have a smile on your face. But when I'm traveling, it's a different kind of smile. I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy to be there. When I'm on the airplane, just to sit there and I'll take my nap and wake up, it's on. I hit the ground running.
Well, one thing, I take maybe a slightly different tack, and I have not done remotely the amount of traveling that you've done, but I like to see an area that I haven't been to and get out and about. I mean, to me, I'm not going to go to, Florida's maybe not a good example, but okay. I mean, I generally don't hang out at the beach or the pool. I want to go and see what's in that area, places that I have not been to.
Right. And that's me. I like to get out and about, unless I'm going to relax. I love the beach too. I love to just chill on the beach. And it has to be that trip like Fiji. I'm going to Fiji. I'm going to see a couple things, but a lot of that time is relaxing time. Yep. I want to be on the water, on the beach, and that's that plan.
We'll wait for your photos on Facebook from Fiji.
Fiji, yes. That's next week.
There you go. Well, with that, folks, unbelievably, our time has come to a conclusion for this evening, and I want to thank you for Nicole for coming in. It's been
Thank you for having me.
So much fun, and we'll have to have you back after Fiji to get your experience there.
Absolutely.
You've been watching City Focus. We'll be back again next week. Good night.